Hello, so I'm currently in Mick Kitchen, a top molecular gastronomy kitchen in Hong Kong, and this is the sole chef here in the kitchen, DeAille. So basically, this is a reflection process journal. I worked with DeAille in this restaurant for more than 4 months to produce my final product, and this I'm going to ask her some questions and we'll look at we'll hear her response. So the first question is, what are some of the constraints do you think can affect the promotion of molecular gastronomy? Since this is like goal of my personal project.
Well, I think right now everyone is a lot more willing to try new things, to have a different experience for food that they're eating, not just cooking it the old way. Like they want to see something different, something made different with the everyday food that they're eating. So definitely, I think molecular gastronomy has a future. Now, in terms of what the constraint is, I think that the problem is people not understanding it. The chemical that we use, although we call it chemical, but they are always derived from actual food products, right? As I was teaching you the other time. So, but people who doesn't know about it sometimes have a fear for it as well. So that might be a setback to us trying to promote this type of cuisine to the mass public.
Last time I talked to Christopher about like when we conducted an interview, he talked about the constraints of molecular gastronomy is the cost, because since it's a new technology. I mean, chemicals are relatively new in the market, so the cost will be relatively higher compared to other products. And do you think that's the case?
That's also true, but costs are driven by the market. I mean, if you have enough people eating it, enough people consuming it, the cost of it will relatively be lower. So it is going hand in hand with my previous concern as well, with whether people are accepting this new style of cuisine.
So my second question is, do you think that molecular gastronomy will eventually be popular or even a trend in the society?
I think so, yes. But I don't think it will be labeled as molecular gastronomy in the future. It's going to be kind of fused into our everyday food or everyday lifestyle to a point where no one can really see a defined line between whether it is traditional cooking or molecular gastronomy. Yes, it will become a future, but as well it will just kind of immerse itself with the future.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, since my goal of the project is to promote molecular gastronomy to the majority, I believe that molecular gastronomy, or the term like science in cooking or scientific food, can eventually be really popular in the society, since like the demands of the majority wants new and creative stuff in different aspects in the world. So I think food can definitely be one of them.
Well, another thing that we have to remember is science in cooking happens a long time ago, way earlier than when this term molecular gastronomy came out. Every day, the packaged food that we buy from the supermarket, there is some form of molecular cooking in there. It's just being packaged it up and put in a form that we don't consider it as molecular gastronomy. Like tapiocas that we were making in the form that we're doing today is being used in bubble teas years ago before it became the form that we're doing in your project specifically. So I think it more so what the restaurant scene is doing is that you're teaching people how what they have been eating can be done in a different method.
Yeah, I agree to what you just said. Using your case in bubble tea, some of the ingredients inside I believe uses gelification to make the spears the whole solid. So I think, but people will not notice that these are this type of process is gelification.
Yes.
So therefore I want my goal to tell them, or to not educate, but to notify them that this technique is actually used. It's molecular, or it's basically using science in the process. third question is, what are some of the responses you have with the customers when serving molecular dishes?
Some are very surprising. Some are find there is a familiarity to what they're eating. They're like, hey, I've had this before in a different form or different flavor, but I've seen this before. A lot of people actually hasn't responded like that. But of course, because we always try and, in the restaurant ourselves, we're trying to push the flavor profile to a different level. So there is some sort of surprise to it. But I mean, people are very accepting, that's for sure. People are willing to take the risk and try that new adventurous food that we're making for them.
Yeah, I mean, the first time when I experienced molecular gastronomy, like some of the dishes, the first time was in June when I visited Bowen location, the twin restaurant, the twin restaurant in of the kitchen, of Wan Chai. They serve a BBQ pork molecular reverse purification dish. I was really surprised. I think the chef thought outside the scope in order to create this dish. It was really innovative, and I was really surprised by the flavors. Especially these flavors are really similar or even exact to the BBQ pork we're eating in like different restaurants. So I think this is new. It's fun to eat, and it's really creative. Last but not least, I would like to thank DeAille and Nick Kitchen again. Without their assistance and support, I mean, the final product right now would not be as successful as this one. Thank you.
No, thank you.